So at school and university I played both cricket and rugby, relatively competitively, but when I left university I just stopped doing anything. And to be honest, for about 5 years or so I did no exercise at all. I moved to London, I ate out a lot, I drank a lot, didn't exercise, and ended up putting a lot of weight on. For about the 5 years after I gave up playing rugby, when I moved to London, I was eating a lot of takeaways, I was going out for dinner, I rarely had anything but booze in my fridge rather than any food. And the pounds piled on. I went from being 13 stone up to 18 stone, and a 33-inch waist to a 40-inch waist. I really gained a huge amount of weight, and I was virtually unrecognisable to my former self. I joined the NHS in 2003 when I was 32 years old. My son was born a couple of years later after that. And really, I moved out of London, moved to Rutland, and my life really changed. I suddenly woke up and looked at myself in the mirror and realised how much weight I put on. I thought, actually, you've got to do something about this. So decided it was time to actually not just think about doing something, but actually do something. Triathlon was something I'd never really encountered until a really good old family friend of mine came and stayed at my house once, who was doing an event locally. And he told me all about it, and I was just completely intrigued by what an all-encompassing and friendly and fascinating challenge it seemed to be. And it kind of got my fires going about whether I should consider taking up this sport or not. So this is something that I thought, hold on, I want to get into cycling. I actually want to get into triathlon after listening to my friend from before, but how do I do it? And I didn't really know where I should go or what I should do, so I contacted through Triathlon England. I contacted the website and found a local tri club, which was just on my doorstep. Gave them a call. They said, come along to a swim night. And I went along, and I was made incredibly welcome. And there were a lot of people who had done huge amounts of exercise. They were super thin, but they were incredibly welcoming. They really wanted to bring new people in there. You don't have to be able to swim or run or ride to go and join a triathlon club or any running club or any other sort of sports club. You just need to go there and want to try. Doing the exercise is fantastic. It gets you out there, fresh air, it's a really good de-stressor after work, but it's not really enough. The way I looked at it was that I had to do more for myself. So I looked at my diet, and when I stopped and looked at what I was eating on a daily basis, I realised it was no wonder I'd put a lot of weight on. It's when you actually look at what you eat and how much you eat, it really opens your eyes as to what you're putting in your body. So I made a conscious decision, made a change, went from whole milk to skim milk. Stopped drinking so much fresh orange juice. Didn't stop it because it's good for you in moderation. Changed my portion control. I used to use a whole packet of pasta for 2 people. Halved that. Just did different things to make sure that I had more fruit, more vegetables, and changed my diet. And I couldn't believe how quickly the weight came off. But don't think that you have to stop everything. I still like a glass of wine. I still like a beer. I also still like a good fry-up occasionally. It's just doing everything in moderation means that you earn the right to do that rather than just thinking of it as normal. I actually realised that maybe it was time I looked at doing an Ironman triathlon and give myself the ultimate challenge. So I found a race that worked for school holidays for my son, meant we could have a family holiday at the same time, and I booked it. And on August the 28th, 2016, I will be doing my first Ironman triathlon. Put it into perspective, an Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, followed by a marathon. Each of those sounds ridiculous by themselves, but I hope to do it in a really reasonable time and join a very small amount of people in the world who can say that they're an Ironman. Fact is, I work in the NHS, and we spend a lot of time looking at how poor health can affect people, how it is debilitating in their lives, and how actually the 2 most important things that you can have are diet and exercise and a good healthy standard of living. And the difference that that can make in your long-term enjoyment of life and your long-term health is just enormous. So what I want to do is really tell the world you can start in tiny little steps, just a mile here or a short walk there, but if you build it up, if you do more, it's amazing what a difference it makes. You feel better, you look better, you're healthier, and you set a wonderful example both to your family, friends, and your colleagues.